Well, yeah.
Oh,
Episode
being regular now?
We're in New York right now.
Listen, this episode isn't for the dancing. I was not prepared to get up and do our little dance like me and Chris always do, because that wasn't that type of episode. And it's it's a wonderful day because all three of us are on the same time zone today.
True. Very true.
It's wonderful. So
we have a remote guest. My sister.
Go ahead, Chris. I'm gonna give it to you, Chris. I'm gonna give it to you.
She's getting the chair.
Getting a chair, queen.
So I got her to start watching relationship reality shows.
Yeah,
like
that. Well, yeah, the Circle.
The Circle. I got to watch The Circle.
I have to watch The Circle. My nail guy told me to watch The Circle.
It's addictive and it's kind of ridiculous show. They have had 2 seasons.
Yeah, I watched the first 2. Then they had like The Circle Canada, The Circle France. I was like, I'm not going into
The Circle Brazil was good.
Was it?
There was a Circle Brazil?
Yes.
Well, isn't there Love is Blind Brazil?
I saw Love is Blind Brazil.
Oh, yes, Love is Blind. That was going to be my next question. Did you watch Love is Blind?
Yes, both season.
Oh, so we're all addicted to trash TV. Yay.
No, but Vanessa, have you watched Love After Lockup?
No. I can't get her into that. That's too much. I can't get it on that.
Is that like when the Menendez brothers are married behind bars?
It's when it's relationships of people
worse.
in jail.
Right.
Oh, getting out of it's ridiculous.
Okay.
It's too much. You can't tell her that. It's too much.
Come on, one episode, just one.
It is the worst.
Chris,
the worst train wreck.
Chris, pick the best couple. The trashiest.
By the way, there's a new season that just came out.
Episode.
A new season just came out last week.
Oh, see, I can't.
Yeah, it's too much. It's really a train wreck. It's really a train wreck.
You on that one. I can't do that one.
Yeah, it's too much.
All right, but we are here. Welcome, Vanessa. Thank you for joining.
I think this is my second time. Didn't I jump on last year?
Yeah, you popped in real quick.
Oh, when we went IG Live, yes.
Yeah.
So I've got all my notes because I was literally watching this latest episode at 4:00 in the morning, and I was like, tink, 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 because I forget stuff. Mm-hmm. So who wants to go first? Vanessa,
we're gonna let her start with
whoever you also watch the after party.
Right.
Okay, so then when they keep saying there's stuff that you don't see that's not in the edit and stuff, and like Olajuwon was saying that his wife is much more, she's really quiet when she's on the show, but then she is much stronger when she's not, when the cameras are not rolling. And same thing that Noi said, and didn't they say that they're kind of different
in front of the camera,
in front of the camera,
behind the camera?
Yeah, so I would love to know what they're really like, but all I know is that it's a bit archaic for a husband to come home expecting a warm dinner every night because she is the wife. That role has changed since the 1950s.
Well, the only thing about that I was like, okay, he says he works at night and he comes home during the day in the morning, and she had the place is messy, and he has to clean up when he comes home, and he doesn't want to come home to like a messy house, and she's working all day at the house, and it's not clean if she's doing it all day. That's the only thing that I was like, okay, well, I can kind of see how he would, if he's a neat freak, he wants to come home to a nice house. But that being said, he's disappointing me with this.
But that was in the edit, though. They didn't show that in the episode of him explaining that he works at night. That was in the after party when they're having cocktails. And then you understood, oh, that's why he was upset.
Right.
But what they just show is that him demanding her, giving him a hot cooked meal as soon as he comes in the door, and she bursting into tears because she feels that she's being bullied. So the real, it's always great to hear context, but I don't know.
I think he's just terrified. I just really think he's
terrified of what?
I think he's terrified of being. They haven't had sex yet either.
So
and I think
Noi has had sex.
Well, they've been fucking. But I think he's terrified of being in that he's gonna lose his power once he has sex with her, because once he has sex with her, he's gonna be done. I'm telling you, he's gonna be all. Go ahead, Shahid.
Wasn't he a sex addict though? Sort of like
Isaac,
party boy
Isaac
and all that
was.
stuff. Yeah.
I don't believe half of that. I just want to say, think back to when he said she didn't cry, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has been intentionally trying to make her cry, trying to break her. That's what I don't like about him. And when she did finally cry, where was the empathy? There was none on his face. He didn't reach for her. And he was like, I just really wanted her to show emotion. That's people who are used to toxic relationships, because you feel like if there's no drama, nobody's crying, nobody's fighting, is it really a relationship? Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry, Vanessa, but fuck him all day.
No, I hear you.
Go, T.
Go, Tanya.
I was a little distressed during that whole meeting with Dr. Viviana, because Katina, I could not get my face off of Katina because she just looked so defeated. At that point, I was like, somebody needs to step in, because now this is just not fun to watch anymore. I get it. We watch this for TV. It's entertainment. I get it. And there's going to be some drama. Fine. But this is borderline. This is abusive behavior at this point. And somebody needs to step in. And Shahida, to your point, when she started crying, she was fighting it. I could tell she was sitting there and she was all slumped over. And I was like, come on, Katina, keep it together. And then when she held her wig or her hair, whatever, and she started crying, and he was just like so dismissive. That's when I was like, if there was any part, you already knew that I was done with him from the jump. This was just the icing on the cake, the sealing of the coffin for him with me. He was so dismissive. The way she was talking, Viviana was trying to, talk to the two of them, and he's just like rolling his eyes. He was doing a Jasmina, rolling his eyes and doing all this head stuff. And I was like, you know what, dude, I'm done with you. I'm done.
I'm telling you, I think it's going to change once they start having sex.
I don't think so.
I think he's holding on to his last position of power.
No.
And what I'm telling you,
I disagree.
But first of all, they're going to stay together because she loves him.
Together.
And he loves her, even though he wants whatever he wants. She said she's been doing better or whatever, but they're going to stay together. But I'm telling you, the sex thing is going to be a big thing.
Yeah,
it'll change from
I think he'll be more responsive to her. I think he's just holding on to the last ditch effort of not his power.
Chris, he's a Neanderthal. Let's call him what he is. He is a Neanderthal. I can't stand him. He needs to go. And I hope that she gives her effort. And then at the last episode, decision day, she's sitting there with her legs crossed, looking hot as hell. And she's like, bye, I'm done. I want a divorce.
He's a spoiled brat, and he's always gotten whatever woman he wants to, all that stuff. And because she's not giving him anything, he's had to work for it, and he's still not getting it.
Well, they think that also that he's not really a player, that he has no game.
He has no game. I think he's
exaggerating.
The fact he's never dated a black woman.
Oh, wow.
No, never dated a black woman. And again, here's where I think he's full of shit, because people out there, the majority of people out there are opportunists. And he went on that show bragging that he bedded a mother and her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, apparently they're not black because he says he had sex with black women, but he's only had relationships with white women. So they could very well be black. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at it like, you don't put their business on blast. That mother and daughter is somewhere out there. And if they were looking for, a little shine, they'd be all over the interwebs, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, talking about, we're the
So you think he's lying?
I think he's lying on that one. I don't think
I'm not sure if he's lying. I don't know what particular story is a lie. I just feel that they're more embellished than anything.
And that's lying. Embellishing and lying, same thing. Sorry.
This is true. It's true to an extent. We all embellish a little, but I feel more so that Olajuwon, like I said before, is that he's just used to women showing when he says I'm used to women showing more emotion. So whether it be like coddling him and treating him like a baby and at his beck and call, or it's crying over him. So I'm not saying he will never be a good guy. I'm just saying he's not a good guy right now. He needs to grow up, be in a marriage, be in a situation where he is in the same home with a woman, because he's going to realize that 50-50 stuff, that is never played. It's 60-40, 70-30. It changes week to week. So all of them are going to have to learn that. But I think a lot of it is like what Vanessa said. He's a spoiled brat and he's immature and he's used to having women do for him the way his mama did for him.
The sex is going to change. I'm telling you.
No,
I disagree with you, Chris. I think
I'm just letting you know.
No, I think I said it last week. I think the sex is going to make him a monster. He's already a horrible person. But I think if he sleeps with her and she loves it, he's going to turn into this obsessive. I mean, it's on Lifetime. Lifetime makes movies about it every weekend.
But there's got to be a reason why they haven't had sex yet, because it's not her, it's him.
You think it's him?
Yeah. He said he wanted didn't he say he wanted an emotional something like that?
Emotional connection that came out like that.
But I also he had the dog collar on. He was like, oh, she likes it nasty.
But she's having sex though.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be something to there has to be. If he does not want to have sex with his wife and she looks like that, there's something holding him back from. I
told you what it was.
Yeah, she thinks.
You think it's micro dick?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I do. I don't think he's gonna perform as well as he think he can.
He's so obsessed with the title, wife, husband. He says it all the time. Yeah. He's just as bad as Alyssa with, I'm a good person. I'm not a bad.
Why you bring her back up?
I know I had to bring it. We'll discuss it. We'll discuss it at the end. But
this is talking to Mark. That's why we're bringing it up.
Mm-hmm. He is just like Alyssa with the, you're my wife, I'm your husband. I think, and he's so obsessed with the cooking and the cleaning. He wants that fantasy, right? And I think he would have sex with her if for a week straight, if he came home from work in the morning, 5, 6 a.m., whatever time he comes home from work, if that house was clean and he opened that door and he smells some hot bacon and some pancakes and some eggs and some grits, whatever, and some coffee bubbling, he would.
But he said he came. They said during the party, it was one of his things. He said during the party, after the party, she went to bed and was okay with the place being messy. And he was cleaning up on his own. And he said, I can't believe that a mate of mine would not want to help clean up while it's still messy. So that's where he has to figure out, she said she would, I guess, help clean, but he's okay.
It didn't have to be at that moment for her. Right.
But he's like, I want it now. I want it done.
I'm gonna fast forward to the after party because I'm gonna take Lindsay's term. Lindsay said something. Lindsay said something very important. Chore play. That is a big thing for people. Like women like their man, like women get off and get excited when their man takes out the garbage, cleans up, does things in the house without being asked to do it. That's just what they do. They get off on that and they get excited about that. I think that's Olajuwon's thing. I think if she was cooking and cleaning and doing what she does and loving on him without him having to complain and piss and moan about it all the time, he'd be all over her like white on rice. I don't think it's a micro dick situation. He may have a dick,
either micro or
will we ever know? That's the question.
Because she's too much in love with him. She ain't gonna let us know.
She does love him. Yes, he loves her. He loves her the way that he loves her, even though it's borderline abusive.
Oh, it's borderline abusive, Chris. It is abusive.
if he grows, I'm not saying he can't be a better person. I mean, because I did like him at the very beginning. It's just these last 2 episodes where he just really made me angry. So I feel like there's possibility for him to grow and be better. He just has to get the right person to give him the tools.
Yeah.
So we might as well go into Mock the Shock and Lindsay since you brought up, since you brought them up.
Oof. Let me tap my third eye for this one. I think the majority of my notes are Mark and Lindsay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Lindsay has I've already lost respect for Mark. All right. But if Mark stays with her, I'm done. She has absolutely no filter, and she is always spilling his tea. When you are with someone, there's got to be some sort of, there's certain things you can talk about.
Well, it's respect. She has no respect for him whatsoever.
None.
She's none. His privacy.
When I'm pulling up my notes right now. When they were doing the whole sex thing, and when she said she put the
ball gag
in his mouth, and when she parted her mouth, I had to rewind it back. And she said she called him a pig in a Polynesian buffet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's really disrespectful.
She gets all on humiliating him.
I know her mother doesn't talk. They don't talk, but she has a relationship with the father. But I guess it's
you saw the father at the wedding,
and the brother.
Yeah, they were like this. He's like, that's like grabbing a crocodile by the tail. That was his quote.
Right, so he's afraid of her too.
Oh yeah, they're all terrified of her.
They're all scared
but
of her.
She's also, she called Dr. Viviana Viv, and was like, and she's like, I'm not satisfied or whatever.
She said it was dead.
Yeah, she was dead.
And did you see her drop her thermos of vodka? Because we're just going to call that. That was not vodka? Coffee. That was not coffee in that mug. That was straight up alcohol because she clearly looked inebriated, number one. And she kept dropping it. And then when she called, when Viviana started talking and housing, the sex life, it's dead. She couldn't wait. She just loves.
She's an alcoholic.
Really?
Oh, she's a total alcoholic. Yeah. Well, remember she drank before the wedding? Remember she was drunk, sloppy coming out of the thing? Mm-hmm. He even said, remember at the bowling alley when he said, go have another drink, throwing that dig at her. She's like, go to your mom. Yeah. And I think the reason why she has such loose lips is because she's drunk half the time. She just says whatever is on her mind and she has no filter whatsoever. And every time that they've been drinking, except for the time when Alyssa came to the table and she held her thing, I don't think they started drinking yet. I think that was at the beginning of the conversation where she held her tongue. That was the only time that I ever saw her have some sense about what she was saying or looking the other way and squeezing Mark's hand. All the time, she's drunk.
Yeah,
I think she's drunk most of the time.
I mean, she's awful whether she's sober or not because she doesn't. It's not just him. She doesn't have respect for. She doesn't have respect for anybody else either because she can't read a room. She doesn't know when. I mean. Of course, I mean, I hate that whole thing about, her whole filter. I just say it as it is or whatever. It's like, again, the poster child for when keeping it real goes wrong. That is not a mature way to be. You grow out of that, and she hasn't grown out of it. And Tanya, is she just all Southie? She's all Southie.
They're both from Boston.
Oh, okay. She's all Southie. Trash.
Chris, if you ever come to Boston, Shahida and I we'll just do a whole drive through of the city.
Also, do you remember when she said that she's used to guys having a lot of money? Older guys.
Wait a minute. I've got to quote these people because that was the funniest shit of the night. I was watching this shit at 4 a.m. So by 5:30, of course, or 6 o'clock, it was ending. And when she said, the funniest quote, everybody, I'm used to dating big fish. I can't with her. Big fish where? I mean, help me.
Guys have money?
Didn't she say
she's used to dating big fish that buy her everything, treat her like.
I'm
saying to myself,
you gotta chase me. She's like, Mark, you gotta chase me.
Yeah, she wants
for 2 days.
She wants to be chased. Yeah, I wanted to
Nobody
say Lindsay.
chases Lindsay.
She said you got to earn me. Remember, she said you have to earn me. It's like Mark's got to earn me. I'm like, earn.
But some people that are outspoken, which some examples, they use that I have the right to speak whatever I want to because that's who I am. That's my personality. So if you're hurt, too bad. There are a lot of people that sit in that and they don't care because they are in such pain and are so used to being kind of abandoned that that's what they throw out because they're like, this is how I feel. And that's too bad if you can't deal with it. Fine. And that, we've known some people like that personally. So
she got serious. She needs to go to therapy.
They're not going to change. They really don't change because they'll never see it because they love to sit in that place of hurt. I don't know what happened with her and her mother, but obviously she's still not over it, and she's still that's part of how she reacts, But
she says she laughs with him.
She does crack up with him.
Likes him. I don't know.
And she says she's always
okay. But then again, another part when they were doing the whole S&M thing, and she gets the eatable jelly, and they're like, write something on him that you admire about him. Again, another one of the most laughable moments of the episode.
What did she write?
When she put driven. She's driven. He's driven, and she started talking about his career, and I'm like, Lindsay, maybe you were just in an alcoholic dementia, but bitch, did you not just degrade him in the bathroom talking about take your $60,000 a year salesman ass living with your mama with your roach infested apartment with your dating your landlord ass having ass. She said all of that.
I remember. I'm joking.
And I don't like the fact that Viviana.
You can't say that. For me, you can't say that. You can't dog me out like that and then turn around and call me driven. Bitch.
I think the Viviana thing, I don't like how Viviana doesn't lay into one of them more than the other. She's like, I don't want to see either one of you talking bad about each other. She was going in hand on. He said that one thing of like, go drink some more. But that's after she had said all of that stuff. And then she went on top of that. So she kind of made it equal between the two of them as opposed to laying into her. It's like, you can't say that stuff. You can't be rude and disrespectful.
Well, she did say you're rude.
But I mean, like, she's beyond rude of like when she was in the bathroom saying he doesn't satisfy. I mean, she went ham on him and he just said, I don't think he's going to say yes.
I believe
she's going to say yes.
I think they're both going to say yes.
I think she's going to say yes.
I think they are.
I think she's going to say yes. I think he's going to say no.
I think that's his safe space. I think decision day, again, this is where I feel like this is beyond watchable at this point. It's just disturbing because it's like Mark looks like every time Mark comes on the screen, I'm like, his eyes are like big. And I'm like, bro, if you're not in a safe space, blink twice. I'll come get you, bro. I'll come get you. Me and Shahida will drive into Boston real quick, pick your ass up, take care of you.
He's like an Al-Qaeda. I'm writing this at my own will.
Oh my God.
I think Mark is petrified. He is petrified to even sever anything with her, and I think his safe space where he drops the hammer on her ass is going to be the couch. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to say yes. I think he's going to.
I don't think he's going to say yes.
I don't either. Shahida, you think he's going to say yes?
I think they both are going to stay together. I don't think that they're going to last, but I do think that I think on that day they're both going to say yes because they're both kind of toxic in their way. Mark for letting her treat him like that. That's toxic.
Well, I think he's doing it. He's doing it because he's got to be it's the show. He's doing everything he can to just stay in the show and to be the bigger person and to work with it, the whole thing. But I think bottom line is he doesn't want to fuck her anymore.
But
he doesn't want to have sex with her anymore.
You can stand up for yourself and still be in the show. I'm not saying for him to go ham on her.
But I don't think he's the type of dude
kind of confrontation
because he knows she's fucking crazy. Yeah. He knows she's crazy. She's so lost.
I'm just going to compile a bunch of Lindsay clips because the worst clip that she did on this episode, remember when she was talking to her friend via Skype or whatever on the laptop, And she said she's always spreading his business. And remember, she brought up the vibrator. Oh, let's talk about that. Oh, yeah. She was like, her friend, they were talking about, her and her girlfriend were talking about the whole sex thing. And she's like, I get more satisfaction from my vibrator. And then she's talking about how he finishes fast. You don't talk about shit like that about your husband. I wouldn't even talk about that about a boyfriend or a friend that I'm just fucking. Excuse me. I'm not spreading their business in them streets like that. She has no filter, and I think she legit gets off. I think it gives her a euphoric high, the way that she just belittles him and talks about him, because her chest puffs out. I'm all about body language. So when she talks about him and she's dogging him, she's all like, I get more satisfaction from my vibrator. He finishes fast. He looked like a potted pig at the Polynesian buffet. She has no filter. I hate her.
He's with her.
I know.
I don't understand it.
And if he says yes, I'm done.
Well, the show will be over. It won't matter. I'm joking. God damn it. I had an old lady moment.
All right.
Forget it. Go.
Come back.
And psychologically, if she, again, back to this mother issue, you can always have resentment. If the mother abused her physically or whatever, and the father didn't step in, she will have resentment for the father. She'll give the mother a pass, but the father for not saving her. Yep. Then inflicting pain on men because of her pain. Same thing happens when you're beat by your father and the kids you have an abusive father and the mother doesn't step in and save them, but allows it to happen. They'll forgive the father and always bring the mother to task for not doing it. And they have the resentment with the women, even though their father beat their ass. So it could very well be that's her trigger. That's her, method of abuse. Like, I'm going to just make every man miserable because my father didn't step in for me.
She's a mess.
Yep. And that's why her daddy and her brother are like,
see ya. Good
luck. He's all yours now. Don't call us. And you see, we ain't seen their asses since, right?
No.
Just saying.
I just have one. Lindsay and I could not be friends. But
never.
I know. We couldn't be friends, but I can see her as a good girlfriend. She's wild, but she's she's loyal too.
If she gets what she wants.
Yeah.
If she gets what she wants, she can be, I think.
I was trying to be 50-50 with her. Because I don't dislike her as much as I dislike Jasmina.
But Alyssa, I mean, I know that was a whole thing.
She's the one. So she's texting. She's texting Mom.
I know.
Mark in the DMs. Did you see that?
We gotta get to that at the end. After party at the end. Woo, woo, woo. Lindsay once again has no filter, spilling all the tea at the after party. Terrible.
But I thought it was funny when she said that the cock. What did she call? She called her a cockroach is still in the building like every single day.
Right. Oh yeah, she's like the cockroach after the apocalypse. They don't go away. They don't die.
Every single day. Yeah, she wanted to.
So is she living in the apartment with like in the complex?
No. She just shows up to visit the girls. She shows up to visit the girls. But wait, that's how it started. That's how it started because Lindsay spilled the tea about Alyssa. Mark slid into Alyssa's DMs on IG. Black Jesus.
I don't think it was like worth reading it because if she wasn't attracted to Chris,
she definitely gonna be attracted to Mom.
Absolutely not.
But she is an opportunist. She is going to stick her little venomous teeth
maybe to get on the show.
Yes. No, but it's not that she wants to date him. She just wants access.
Yeah.
She wants to get in. She wants to visit them. She wants to be on the TV.
No, she's not making it.
So Jasmina.
Let's end with Jasmina. Let's end with them. Let's just get Stephen Noy out of the way.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Let's get Stephen Noy out of the way because they're easy.
You don't think Noe likes Steve?
No. I don't think Jasmine.
We're gonna let's just Steve.
Let's cover Stephen Noy real quick.
We got a lot of Jasmina at the end.
Yeah, let's get Stephen Noy out of the way. Very easy.
I love that.
I do too. I like that he's mature enough. He's mature enough to handle her, and the fact that she acknowledged. It was nice when they were having the thing with Dr. Viviana, how you could see that she was like. She said, I felt so bad seeing him, how hurt he was when I did that to him. I really think, as I said, I think last week, I think she was testing him to see what because he wouldn't say, I love you back. I think it was a test to him to say, well, let's see if I leave. And then she said last week, she's like, this man really loves me. So now I think they're.
And Steve has to realize being a refugee from she was either from Laos or coming with $0 and having that, I got to make money. My father's got to pay. So that's her fear. So him not working, even though he's brilliant and he can get a job whenever he wants. And he knows mentally, I got you. If I need to, I can. Trust me. She doesn't trust because her instinct is like, I'm a refugee from another country. Because she's not she's a U.S. citizen now.
Right.
So that trigger of like making sure somebody's got her back and monetarily, I can understand why that's her fear, but she's got to trust him to know that he'll.
But then again, against Steve, I love Steve, but against him when he said, well, you know that the house won't be clean if I get a full-time job. I didn't like how he kind of put that out there. He's like, that I clean the house all day, so if you come home, and he said, are you going to be okay with, remember Viviana said, would you be okay with him being a house husband? And she was like, no, which is understandable, but I think he wants to be more like a house husband more than anything else.
I think, and I keep saying this, and if I'm right, I'm just going to dance in the street. I think Steve is not worried. Here's my take on Steve. COVID, people lost their jobs, people are homeless. Steve, what did Steve do? He went on a cross-country drive down the East Coast to Florida and back, lived in his car, did what he had to do. Steve is not worried about money, period. I keep saying Steve's got some coin. Steve just ain't coming up off of it. I think Steve is trying to figure her out and seeing if she's going to be the one. And if she is, then he will disclose. I get that. He doesn't have to disclose to her what he's sitting on in the bank and, his financial status. Even though he's married to it, he married her at first sight. He married a complete stranger. That's different than dating someone and courting them and then marrying them. Then you know what their situation is. He don't know her. Mm-hmm. So I get where he's coming from. I look at him. He's not worried. So for me, he's got some money.
Mm-hmm. And they're fucking too.
He's got some money.
They're talking about, having sex in a public place. She's like, well, and he's like, okay, so let's do it.
What I don't get with, I like Stephen Noy. I think they're gonna make it. They're a great couple. But just like we say that you think that he has some money down the line, and when he trusts her, that's her whole thing. She doesn't have trust in a person to put her whole financial, or half of her financial security on. So I get exactly where she's coming from. I think they're a great couple that, he's definitely going to step up, but I still don't think that he's going to be the traditional type of husband that she wants, because I think he'll go back to work, then take another long break. I don't think she's going to like his break periods.
I think she will once she gets used to it. Again, this is still new. And back to your point, Vanessa, with, being the immigrant and all that, she was a baby. So she didn't really have to suffer as much as, like her parents had to deal with coming over here and starting anew. But I think maybe her parents might have instilled that in their children, raising them up like, you have to work hard. We came here, we sacrificed. Immigrant parents, I've got them in my family. They do that where they're like, we made this sacrifice to give you this life. You have to do way better than us. You know what I mean? And you can't settle. I mean, you can't settle for just this dude that's just driving around the country. I mean, he may be like Bill Gates rich for all we know. And
yeah, he's not pressed.
that's not good enough for them.
Steve's not pressed. Steve's not pressed at all.
Steve is not pressed at all. That's why I know Steve got some money in the bank, because I know what it's like to be pressed.
Sometimes people who don't have money in the bank, they're not pressed about money. It's all your relationship to it. And I feel like his relationship is that he's always had a good life. He's never, I mean, whether there was money in the bank and abundance of money in the bank or not, he's always had a good life. Like, so he doesn't, he thinks about money like our kids think about our money, that it's just infinite. It'll come when I need it. That kind of attitude. So that's the only issue I have with him. I think he just needs to go ahead and reassure her, but then on going forward, that's just something that she's going to trust over time.
And remember, it is the show, and they only show you any kind of contention between. And if that's what we're reaching for straws on, you know what I mean? They're obviously they love each other.
Jasmina and Michael.
Oh God!
I think at the end of the day, Steve and Noy are going to make it, and I think that they just need to get over those little bumps. They got short bumps, and I think if they can work through that and communicate, they'll be fine. But let's get on to let me just
first of all, I wanted to jump through the screen and grab her for Michael's sake when she's like,
Chris, can I give you the face? Chris, can I give you the face?
Yeah, she's like, he's trying so hard. He's like, I need you to communicate. And she's like, now you can talk. And he's like, you don't have to do the writing thing. He's trying to do anything to try to communicate with her. She's like, I don't want to write. He's like, okay, well then even talking over, she's like, you talk over me. That's all she did the whole time was talk over him. She talked over him the whole time. And then when he starts to say something, she's dismissive of him. Oh, and with the look and the eye rolls and the folded arms and you know what? I was like,
first of all, she doesn't want him to write in the journal. She doesn't want to do the journal because she can't
do anything.
He can't condescend him.
But that wasn't
the journal.
Was his assignment, not her assignment. She's like, Viviana told you to write the journal, not me. So she's like, that's your assignment. I don't have to write the journal. So that's why why would you have to join in?
No, but she said for both of them to get their thoughts down so they wouldn't run over each other. And he's like, I'm willing to do that. And she's like, I just want you to just talk to me. And he's like, but you're not Michael, you can talk now, Michael.
Oh yeah. When she does that, Michael, when she's like, Michael.
She talks to him like he's 5. And he's sitting there. Oof.
Christopher.
That's also happened. He's the only boy, and all those sisters and mothers, and he's used to. I don't think she's attracted to him, honestly. No. I mean, for sure.
That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And then to be so rude about it, like, sometimes being honest, you got to pick your words. I know I say some fucked up shit, but when she sat there and was like, you don't make my coochie wet.
Well, no, I think that was editing of Lifetime.
Yeah, it was.
In the teaser to make it seem like she said it directly to him. But it was when they said, she's like, I need an emotional connection before I give my physical.
Though. That's the other thing. It's a different style. He's very analytical. What do I say? What's the right thing to say? What exactly? So he comes, everything is like, and she's like, she wants a man to get her, grab her, and it's just, right. He can't do that. He's incapable. So it's not that he's bad and not that she needs another style. It's that love language thing. She needs a man to pick her up, and he's very like asking permission. Is it okay? Is it all right if I say this? Because I don't want to make sure,
Because he's worried that if he says anything, she's going to label him aggressive. Yeah. So he doesn't want to be aggressive because it's her self-fulfilling prophecy. She's waiting for him to step up and say, look, so-and-so, see, you're being aggressive again. That's exactly that's why he doesn't want to do anything. He's walking on eggshells because she doesn't want him. Yeah, she doesn't want him at all. That's what basically
she doesn't want him, and she doesn't have the guts to say it. Just say, I'm not attracted to you.
And even when
maybe
the
we
fact
can
that
work on this.
with the girls, she kept saying, "I keep doing everything. I'm doing." It was almost like Alyssa-ish, where she was like, you know, I'm
doing
I'm doing everything. I'm communicating. I'm doing, but he's just not. And when she was talking with the girls on the.
Yep.
She don't like him. She don't want him. She don't want him.
And I don't have
She's
a
got
problem
such a
with
stank
that.
attitude, though. I don't
That's
like her
all I was
stank
gonna say.
ass
But she
attitude.
does laugh at him though. That's the when you see them. I mean, he told the pee-pee story, and she was like crying on the floor, laughing, and he was like enjoying, like, why you got to do that to me? That's when you see the humanity with the two of them. Like, okay,
Right.
like they could possibly get along humor-wise, but physically, it's not going to happen.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And that's on her because she has shut that down.
Yes, exactly.
You know, internally,
100%.
because if she could get past his looks, I think that they would be in a better place. I don't see
that's hard.
And I guess we're kind of jumping because I don't see that he's unattractive.
He's
but
not ugly.
I get that she's not attractive to him. So it has to be a little bit more than that too. I think another part of it, I think she's really immature. The fact, still, I go back to the fact that she's never dated a man that has lived in the same state. I don't think she knows how to function in a relationship that's not long distance.
Because she has the best of both worlds.
It goes back. I can say 1,000 things, but it still goes back to be respectful to people. Be kind. Be kind. You know.
And if there was a chance for them to have any kind of sexuality, she would at least be affectionate towards him. She is like, he's like, I think a little bit of affection would help us get to an emotional place. And she's like, I don't want to touch you at all. She doesn't want to touch him not even like stroke his back or whatever. She don't want to touch him at all. She's like,
she just squeezed his arm.
Right. And that's it.
Yes.
Right.
She grabbed his arm.
Exactly.
She thought his arm was the most sexy.
She had to say something. She had to say, something. And yeah.
They all need work.
Yeah, it gets harder and harder to see her. And I just go back.
With each episode, she gets uglier and uglier. When we first started, I was riding her hard. I was standing her big time. And with each episode, it was like a boner killer, for real. Each episode is a boner killer for me with Jasmina because I was standing for her hard. And now she is just an ugly ass to me right now. Her attitude makes her completely ugly to me.
She's not the worst.
Well, the worst of what's left. Well, Lindsay's pretty bad too. Lindsay's pretty bad.
So after party, Chris, did you watch the after party?
I did watch the after party. Did you watch?
What did you think about? I've been on the interwebs, and a lot of people are confused as to why Kevin was on there.
Kevin was on there.
Great, I love him.
Yeah, I thought Kevin was good on there.
They were trying to make it funny. I don't know him as a stand-up, so I don't know his stuff.
Well, he's a
super fan.
Well, him and his wife have a podcast talking about Married at First Sight too. And
he's been married for 18 years, whatever. Yeah. So, just to bring some extra comedy or whatever into it. Who's on? It was Olajuwon. Who was on?
It was Olajuwon, Lindsay, and Kevin with Rudy. Yeah. I love me Rudy.
She's good though. She's a lot better. She's a lot better than Jamie. Jamie, remember Jamie was doing she gave no pushback at all. She's just like, I got to call you out on this, Olajuwon. Why? At least she's pushing it to when she told Lindsay about as a black woman to say that to a black man when she yelled at Olajuwon, whatever. Yeah. So I like the fact that she's pushing back a little bit and calls them out like we would want to have them be called out.
The funniest part though of the after party when Lindsay spilled the tea about Alyssa showing up and on the rooftop because I guess her and Lindsay and Olajuwon have rooftop conversations with each other, and apparently Alyssa's starting to show up. When she said that and Kevin grabbed the little cactus or succulent plant and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna mind my business right now. That shit was hilarious. Hilarious. But
I gotta
okay,
start
so let me
watching
ask
it.
you, did you guys watch the preview? I did.
No,
Was it
I
at the
didn't
end of
see
it?
They said that they had previews of the rest of the season. I didn't want to watch that, and then I saw the preview of next week on the after party.
I watched
On the regular
preview,
episode,
but
they showed
see the
next.
preview
I
of
didn't
the
watch
season.
that, but on the after party, they showed next week's episode or
A
something.
lot of tears. That's all I remember. I don't know who's crying.
I can't wait to see what goes
Olajuwon's
down with
crying,
Olajuwon.
and- Yeah.
And just-
And she's like, "Take the mic off me!" Like,
Oh yeah,
you know.
because Katina went full black. She was like, "Take this microphone off me, because if you don't take this microphone off me, I'm gonna go full Katina." And I was like, "Yes, Queen, you better show your ass right now. Prove
But
Olajuwon."
even in that clip, I'm telling you, he's starting to look weaker. Olajuwon's starting to look like now he's being more invested.
More
Like,
vulnerable.
more,
Let's
yeah.
not say weaker, because men can be. We're gonna have to say strong.
Okay,
Being
I guess.
emotional,
Oh, sorry.
more emotional.
Vulnerable, yes.
Which is
Okay.
fine.
Right.
Being a mother, I have a son. Men can be soft. Men can be emotional. So if he was breaking
And
down, he might be at his limit. You know, we don't know what the limit is. We'll find out soon. But obviously, he's at some kind of limit.
I think they had sex, and that's what happened.
Let's hope he's no Olajuwon, because I can't stand Olajuwon.
Well, no, because he grabbed her phone too.
Yes.
How did it-
Yeah.
He was looking at, she had something in her phone that he did not like, and he was, that's why I say, Chris, that was the proof to me when you kept saying he's gonna like fold when they have sex. Nope. I think if they have sex, he's going to go full on ether. He's nuclear. He's going nuclear on her ass.
Well,
If
they
she-
were they're getting close. They're intimate with the massage and everything. I'm surprised if they hadn't, because
Well,
they're
who's to say that between this episode and the
That's
next
what-
episode
that's
they
what I'm
didn't have
saying.
sex? Hence why he looked at her phone and was like, "What
Right.
is?" He went full nuclear. Was like, "What is that?" Ain't no man going through your phone and getting upset if he hasn't, you haven't done the little horizontal
Why is
hustle.
he
That's
going
all
through
I'm
the
saying.
phone? I mean, come on.
What'd you
don't
say?
do that to yourself.
Why is he going through the phone? We don't do that.
Yeah,
Thank
don't
you.
do that to yourself.
Do that. Exactly. If you get to the point where you got to look through somebody's phone and start snooping, I've been saying this for years. When you get to that point, it's time to bounce. Don't ever, don't go there with yourself. Just move on. Let it go.
But it's
I
interesting.
gotta go to the restroom. So, bye, ladies.
Thank you so much. Mwah, 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 mwah.
That's how you end the show. We all got to go to the
Exactly.
restroom.
Right.
We all got to go to the restroom. We all got 50-year-old bladders, for God's sakes. Jesus
Mhm.
Christ. I just put one. Oof.
That stank look at Jasmina look. I was ready to jump through the screen.
Listen to me. I rewound it back and took a screenshot of it, because that's going to be our advertisement to the post. I don't care.
And he was
So, all right,
also
let's
when
go.
Dr. Viviana was there, and he's trying, you can see him, he's stronger in that point because he has someone that can back him up on what she's doing. So he was like, look, so and 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 so, and Viviana's like, she just doesn't want him. She doesn't want him.
That's what it really boils down to.
Yeah, she don't want him.
But I just
And there's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do.
Right.
There's
Right.
nothing he
because
can do.
he's doing all the right things, and even he said it was. I guess it was just that one thing that she's trying to say, like, flipped her off, and that was him lying about the. But even before then, he was still putting out effort. Yes, he messed up, but ever since and ongoing, he's been putting out the most.
Yeah, but I don't even think he messed up. I think she made that up. I should think she made something. I mean, you should mess up with the roommate situation.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you talking about like him talking aggressive?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
I
I know she made that up.
No, she made that up.
But
Because
yeah.
if she didn't make that up, trust and believe, they would have rolled the tape on his ass. They would have pulled the
They
receipt.
didn't have anything to back that up. Not once. And even when you see them talking together, and he talks about being aggressive. Talks
When
about
he turned
being
around and did the eye roll, I was
aggressive,
done.
to lower your voice. And
lower your voice, Michael.
Lower your voice. So she's really putting those things out there for people to kind of believe. That's why I don't like her, because it's the manipulative stuff that she does. I don't know. She seems too calculating.
And white women do that to black men every day. And it's disheartening to see a black woman
gaslighting him
that way, and always using those triggering words. Don't be aggressive. Lower your voice. I'm like, dude,
calm down.
Calm down,
Michael.
Calm down, Michael. You're being aggressive. Your voice is. I'm like, am I like losing my hearing? Because he ain't even. I know I can be loud, but he is not even half on the octave than I am.
Yeah, I don't. And when Dr. Cal was there, not Dr. Cal, Pastor Cal was there. And if he had ever really been aggressive, like, and was like ripping and yelling, she would have had specifics from him.
Right.
Because, and that's one thing you notice with her, she doesn't really have any specific. It's like this whole generalization. Well, how is he aggressive? She's never, he yelled at me, or his tone changed. But she's staying on tone.
She's making all that up.
I'm going to say this, and then we can end.
Exactly.
I'm disappointed in Viviana, because Viviana with Lindsay and Mark, Olajuwon and Katina, she had, and same with Jasmina and Michael, she had an opportunity to hold their feet to the fire.
Accountable, yes.
Yes, hold them accountable. And when she was going in, and all three of them, Jasmina, Lindsay, and Olajuwon was so dismissive,
right?
And we're just like, yeah, whatever. Move. And Viviana did not keep it. She loses brownie points with me on that one.
And she says, we see everything. Well, if you see everything, then you know that she's talking to him this way.
Thank you.
She's talking to Michael that way, and he's trying. He's making an attempt to at least, even with the written thing, he's like, okay, I'll try the writing thing. Well, you do that. I don't want.
I'm not writing no journal, Michael.
She's thinking of everything possible not to like him, or not to push him away, and he's still trying to do it. If he just like, you know what, I'm done, I think she'd be okay with that.
And she's never wrong, because her girlfriend called her out.
Never wrong. She's never wrong.
You're never wrong. If you are, you'll never admit that you're wrong. That's exactly, quote unquote, what her girlfriend said to her. So here we are. All right, guys. Well, listen, let's close the show out. And we want to thank Miss Vanessa Williams for being on the show.
Saying thank you.
And until next week, we'll talk to y'all then.
Have fun in New York.